This is Lorinda from Living Lively with Lorinda. Introducing myself to my channel that was created, actually, I would call it by popular demand. So many wonderful people, friends and personal friends I've met, and so many that I haven't, but I still call them friends because they speak with kindness, sincerity, and just curious about my story, positivity, and especially the ones that have known me the best, know me the longest. My journey has been, I'm not going to say harder than others. There's so many people that have suffered silently, endured, sustained, survive. I remember when I was told by a professional that I was a survivor. I was probably in my 30s at the time, and I didn't know what that meant then. Of course I learned, and I was happy because it meant I wasn't a victim. I went for help as a victim, but I learned I was really a survivor, and that is so important. From my early years, a young girl, I was actually a survivor. When, of course, we don't know that on our journey, do we? Only through time, lessons, teachings that we learn. And I usually don't like to talk the solemn because it seems like it's not a positive, but in this case, I suppose it is. It's the outcome that matters. And even though my story is solemn in many ways, it actually is also a success. And that's the part that's important that I like to share, is that so many times we say, why me? And where's God? They question, if there's a God, then why would this happen to me? And I've answered it throughout the years by saying that because of God, I'm not alone in all the different scenarios, situations, devastations. We're talking the passing of I have 4 sons, and 2 have died prematurely in their ages. So I've had to live through that devastation, amongst other abuse, neglect, hurt, just really that survival mode that I've had to live in for many, many years. And I've learned that I really wouldn't change the script. If I had to rewrite my story like a fantasy, what would that story be? Just fun and play and success. Like most people, they want to be an entertainer, a movie star, a vocalist, a singer, a musician. They picture themselves on stage. Those are like the fantasy things that probably people, if they could write their own script, probably would write about how they could see themselves living that dream life. And for me, I can't say that. I would say that it's hurtful, painful, and devastating. I wouldn't rewrite it. is the reason I wouldn't rewrite it is because of all that I've endured is actually made me the whole person, the complete person, the spiritual person, the God-seeking person, the loving person, the forgiving person, happy, joyful, grateful person that I am. And sometimes people don't understand how you could be grateful, how can you be happy when devastating life events happen to you. But in my journey, I've learned that yes, it makes me stronger, closer. There's nothing more beautiful. I can't even say anything on earth that's more beautiful than feeling so strong and close, so close to God and my angels. I could say his angels, but they're my angels because he declared them my angels. They're his heavenly angels that he has sent to us to call upon. And I do. And because of that and all the hurt and pain that I've been through and those moments of desperation, and when I'm talking desperation, I mean the kind that you're on the floor crying in pain and asking why. And then you realize, wait, I'm not above anybody else. When we ask ourselves, why me? It's like insinuating that it should happen to someone else, but not me. No, life happens to all. It doesn't discriminate, put it that way, who gets to have bad news at their door. But what we do with it, how we transform it, and make something somehow meaningful and good out of it, is what's most important. And yes, we can be happy again. We can. Maybe baby steps, like a baby, an infant, a toddler. They all have processes and learn how to crawl, walk, run. It's a natural process. That's the same as on our spiritual walk journey. But you have to start. You have to start. It's not imposed upon us. It's not a magic potion. It's not an injection. It's not a pill. It's nothing that you can do to make a shortcut out of your journey with your spiritual side. And that's what I live for, and that's what I encourage. I've learned that even though myself been in the church my whole life and raising my children in the church, about 7 years ago, I stopped going to the building. I didn't like what I went there to learn, let's put it that way. And there was a time when things were changing in the church, and that I wasn't there to hear anything other than what I can do with my relationship with God and learning his word. So I stepped back, and wow, my journey's been amazing. Thank God because of that. Because I did wind up, like all that should, have a personal relationship. Think about that. A personal relationship with God, Jesus, your angels, whatever you like to call your higher source. And amazing that I found my journey, my spiritual journey, in my personal way. I didn't need to wait till Sunday to go to church, or Sunday and Wednesday, or whatever days and how people practice their organized religion. I learned that every day, first thing when my eyes wake up in the morning and close at night before I go to sleep, and all throughout the day, every day, 7 days a week, I communicate with God. I communicate with my angels. I have such a close connection that it's incredible. And to me, I've never experienced anything in life that rewarding as I do with my spirituality. So that is a little bit of my explanation to what many people have asked about my journey and how I got my thinking about me, my faith, and how I can go on when they've known of the pain of having to go on life with ones we've had to let go, and their journey when they leave this earth. We all have heard that they're happier without us because they're in a happier place. We've heard that before. And so for us here on earth, we're the ones still here surviving, missing, and maybe living through guilt. Oh, I should have this, I should have that, I could have this, I could have that. And we'll get into that sometime soon. But, because that's only natural, right? It is really only natural. But for now, it's more about introducing why this particular channel was created, called Living Lively with Lorinda.